Greetings, storytellers. Oftentimes you'll hear people say, think outside the box, when the truth is, there is no box. And it's really important you understand that box is your belief system. Let me explain. There was a guy once who had owned a gym, and he had this problem where he had purchased a really nice scale for people to use. And throughout the day, people would shift the scale, move the scale. It was, a regular scale like you'd have at your home, except that it was a little expensive. So he had this problem that people kept kicking it around, moving it. Each day he'd come in and find it in a different spot. And this was going on for quite some time. And somebody had suggested to him to take white tape and make a box in a certain spot and put the scale in the box. Once he did that, he realized that the scale was always in the box. And interestingly enough, he observed that if the scale shifted out of the box because somebody had moved it or adjusted it, that another person would go by and with their foot put it back in the box. The thing is, that box is not really there. It's something that was created. It's an illusion. It's not real. There is no box. That system of creating a box and keeping something inside is basically how your belief system works. When you say things like, I am a ... you've essentially created a box for yourself. And you keep yourself in that box with that thought of, I am this. Or when you look at another person and say, she is, or he is, whatever the case is. When you do that, you're creating a box, which is basically a belief system, a thought that you have about the way somebody or something should be. When you do this with the world, and you say men are, women are, whatever the case is, you're boxing in an entire belief system about the way the world is. Again, there is no box. In the case of the scale, it's just some tape. You rip up the tape, there's no box. It's a system that's created to keep things in a certain organizational frame. And unfortunately, we do this with our lives too often. We create boxes for what we believe people should be like, the way the world should work, etc., when, again, and I've said it a few times here, there's no box. So challenge your thinking. Challenge the things that you believe about the world or the way that you believe the world should be by eliminating the box. It's not that you want to think outside the box. It's that you want to understand there is no box. There's only what you choose to believe. When you give yourself a reason for not doing something you want to do, well, there's no time, or, well, I can't lose weight, or I'm not strong enough to run a mile or 2 miles or 10 miles or whatever the case is, you're creating a box that defines and limits your ability to do the things you want to do. Eliminate the box by eliminating the belief. See it for what it is. It's just a bunch of tape that you put around a mind frame. It's a belief system you've created. Rip off the tape. It's not there. And go for the things that you want to go for. Do the things that you want to do. To take it a step further, remember that when you say he is or she is, thinking about a family member, a friend, or whatever the case is, you're boxing them in too with your beliefs. You're creating a belief that's not necessarily true. Perhaps they act in a certain way and they do that often, but that doesn't mean they are that way. Change your belief system. You will change the way you look at the world, and you will change the way you act in this world. And, even more so, you will change the way you are, and that the world is around you. Rip off the tape, get rid of the belief system that you've created that's not real, and create the life you want. It's yours. Create your own story. Have an amazing day, storytellers.